Welcome back to the Church of Atheism podcast, number 10. We've made 10 episodes now. I'm Trav again, back with Chris. How you doing, Christopher?
Oh, pretty good. It's been a while since we've done this. It's been a long fucking month.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to get into your stuff, but I feel like we both had some...
Just awful things.
Yeah. So, some things that don't have to be public, but some things that are not dandy. But we're here now. We're here. Gonna make the most of it, and we'll get back to it.
Well, it's gonna get better because I have people's thoughts and prayers, and everyone knows that helps.
I was just gonna say that we should start off the show sending our thoughts and prayers to the shootings in Texas.
Yeah.
And then we can just wash our hands of it because we've done our part.
Yep. We could feel good about ourselves.
Yeah.
So thoughts and prayers.
We didn't really do anything, but we just thought about it, and we pretended to pray about it, and the problem is resolved.
Yeah, so thoughts and prayers to Cowboys fans.
Yes. And if you're going to go that route...
It'll get better.
Yeah, we should also talk about the Giants. Speaking of...
Oh.
No, I'm just joking. We don't talk about them. No one likes them. But
really, our thoughts and prayers really need to go to San Francisco. The 49ers are fucking 0-9.
Yeah, and maybe we should do a moment of silence.
Yes. Okay. That was a moment.
Yep. All right, so...
Anyway.
I just wanted to start off, speaking of the shooting, I actually love it when there's a shooting in a fucking redneck, red state like Texas. And... it's even better when the guns they use are like semi-automatic or fully automatic.
Yeah, they're not doing themselves any favors.
Nah, like this guy yesterday shot and killed 26 people, I think they're at now.
Holy shit, was it really?
In the heart of Texas.
So I haven't really been on the news at all in like the last 24 hours, so was it like another church shooting?
Yeah.
But you'll have to fill me in, because
I honestly don't know all the details. Like, they named the shooter. It was a white kid, which means it's not terrorism.
Yeah.
You can kill as many people as you want, but if you're a white guy, it's not terrorism. Just, pointing that out. So, basically, what I know is that dude walked into church in a really small town. The town was like 400 people. It's just outside of San Antonio.
Oh.
So yeah, if that kind of gives you the background of it, and he just started firing with an AR-15.
Wow.
And
I did at least see his mugshot, and he absolutely has school shooter face.
Right. But doesn't it make you feel good that it wasn't terrorists, though?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's not a Muslim, so it's okay.
Yeah.
He's just a mentally ill. He's just a mentally ill person.
Right.
But if he believed in Allah, then
right.
It doesn't matter how mentally ill he is.
Right. He's a terrorist, and he should be shot for that. So yeah, I was just thinking about it last night, and this guy was able to walk into a gun-heavy location where everyone is dressed like Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
And if, the cool young kids today don't know who that is, just Google it really quick, and that's how everyone dresses in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is the part of the country where everybody has a gun.
Yeah. And in church, too. You can't tell me not every single person's packing.
Right. At least a lot of them.
Yeah.
And to have someone like that kill 26 people in a place that has a shitload of guns just kind of tells you the difference of these guns and like the power of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And like, I am 100% for gun control, but I'm also for the Second Amendment. Like, I really think guns should be a thing that we have access to, but I don't think they should just be handed out to people like they are now.
No.
I mean, I'm being obviously sarcastic. I know they're not just like handed out, but they're fucking easy to get.
Yeah, they're not too tough, apparently.
Yeah.
As we've learned the last few months.
Yeah, and I was under the impression that after Las Vegas, all the gun legislation they didn't pass and all the work Congress hasn't done, I kind of figured that would be the end of gun violence because they did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But apparently, no, I was wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I don't really have much more than that right now. I don't know much more about it. I just wanted to give a quick 2 cents, I guess you could say. What I really wanted to bring up, unless you have more.
No. That's about it.
Fair enough.
What you told me is about what I know.
All right. Yeah, so what we wanted to bring up was the Bible Belt.
Oh, yes.
And I was doing some research on just like regular, gun crime, all those good things. And it seemed to me at the time that our lovely friends of the South, the ones getting all pissed off about statues being knocked over, don't have it as good as they want you to believe they do.
How so?
Well, let's see some stats here. These are actual stats. I have sources. If people want them, I'll put them on the website too. All right, so let's just look at teenage birth rates from 15 to 19-year-olds by state. So this is per 100 adolescent females ages 15 through 19. The birth or the pregnancy rate among those guys, the average is 24.2 out of 1,000 births are teenagers, right?
Mm.
Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, and West Virginia all score higher than the average. In fact, they all lead the way.
Huh. Wow.
In comparison, those evil blue states like California and New York, much fucking lower. Crazy lower when it comes to that. So I was looking over more shit. STDs. What's the top 10 for STDs? What's the top 10 states? Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, New Mexico, North Carolina, South Carolina, Arkansas, and Delaware snuck in there somehow, and Oklahoma.
Delaware?
Yeah, Delaware apparently good place to go if you want to get herpes.
Good to know.
Yeah. I mean, not as good as Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, New Mexico, North Carolina, South Carolina, Arkansas, but it's up there. But all these things the Bible preaches, good, bad, evil, sinners, bad, good. The Bible Belt leads the way in pretty much every fucking category you can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's like a economic thing.
Could be. I've got divorce rates here. Colorado's actually in the lead for that, which is interesting to me. But then it goes Alabama, West Virginia, Florida. Like, it's all the fucking South. It's all the Bible Belt that are spreading their religion to show how fucking amazing Jesus is, but apparently he can't stop all these terrible things from happening.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah. We've got murder rate.
Oh, okay. This would be fast. Oh, can I guess what the number one is?
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Actually, it's second place.
Oh.
Behind the.
Okay. Georgia.
Georgia is actually 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
Actually, they're like number 12.
Oh.
District of Columbia is actually in the lead.
Oh, I actually knew that from watching The Wire.
Right. We talked about shows before the program, and that actually did come up earlier before we recorded.
Yeah, because they are close to Baltimore, and yeah, I don't know, that was mentioned on the show. But that's interesting, D.C.
Yeah.
And then, New Orleans, or Louisiana doesn't surprise me, because I used to watch Gangland all the time, and,
oh, yeah.
Oh, God, New Orleans is a violent city. You want to hear something interesting about New Orleans? It's they had something called, I think it was like the 30-day law or the 60-day law or something. But anyway, it was some really weird thing where you killed somebody and they didn't have any leads or anything within like 30 or 60 days or whatever, they would just drop it completely. So when the it's really weird. So when the hurricanes happened and everyone moved, like all these displaced people moved to Houston, all of a sudden their prisons and jails were just flooded with murderers because they don't have that ridiculous law in Houston.
Right.
So all these New Orleans gang people were like really confused by that. Like they literally thought that they could get away with murder.
You guys don't just give up here?
And then like I like to read about all the rappers and stuff from New Orleans who like just drop dead like crazy. It's a very, very violent place.
Yeah. Yep. I was actually somewhat surprised you guessed number 1, but actually got number 2 so easily. Like you pretty much knew it.
Yeah.
Next on that list is Mississippi. Maryland somehow. Maryland is up there.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me because also going
Baltimore.
back to The Wire, that's where, Baltimore and
Yeah.
that. Oh boy, that place is just a hellscape.
I don't know if it's still the case, but I remember reading something years ago that at one point being in Maryland or St. Louis was more dangerous than being in Iraq during the war.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't surprise me. For anyone listening, you should watch The Wire. It's such a fucking good show. And it really deals with racism and politics and corruption in a pretty realistic, interesting way. Anyway. No,
I've actually total random topic too. I've been watching The Orville with Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, I would have watched that. I haven't seen it yet.
It's fucking really good, actually.
That's awesome.
It's funny, but it's not Family Guy funny. Like,
yeah.
They go through some pretty deep topics.
Interesting.
Yeah. But so we got Mississippi, Maryland, Missouri.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
And Kansas City, because
I heard they're getting bad too.
The episodes of Cops that are in Kansas City that are usually pretty good.
Cops and I think Spike used to have shows like Best High-Speed Chases, those kind of things.
Oh, yeah.
It's always in Missouri, Ohio, or Florida.
Yeah.
It's always those 3 states always make an appearance at least one time.
That and Las Vegas is a fucking garbage city.
Yeah.
Those Vegas Cops episodes are always a delight. And yet, Nebraska's the only state where someone actually got murdered on camera.
Really?
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No.
This was not even that long ago, but they're filming an episode in Omaha for I think the first time.
Right.
And they ended up getting in a shootout or something, blah blah blah. But I think a cameraman caught a stray bullet. I actually think from a cop.
Oh shit!
He died. So they never aired the episode. Yeah. Yeah, I could be wrong about some of the details, but yeah, you have to look that up.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't even know they filmed there. I know Omaha's getting pretty bad too.
Yeah, Omaha's always been a pretty violent place.
Yeah, at least parts of it. I lived there for a very short time, and it wasn't bad where I lived, but we weren't too far from the entertainment, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
We did hear gunshots a couple times. We were close enough to hear it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of murders there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just I just found it interesting that issue after issue, statistic after statistic showed that the places that practice religion the most, the people that love guns the most, are the places you're most likely to get shot, killed, raped. Rape is another big one that it was 9 out of 10 was all the South. STDs you're going to get all the places that don't have like a science background.
Ah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
so many places that have bullshit like sex education. You know, abstinence first. Well, it turns out, bitches, that doesn't work out.
Not even sort of.
Right.
Abstinence-only education is fucking stupid.
Now, I didn't do enough research to find out what, like, specifically what they teach, but I know from experience that a lot of the Christians and the Bible thumpers preach and preach and preach abstinence only. But, like, if you don't teach anything, you don't learn anything, and you have fucking statistics that back that up.
Yeah, they should teach the kids, you know, how to get it on safely. And also, they should teach them, they should really break down the cost, like the per year cost of having a child.
Right.
I think that would probably scare off more people than an abstinence-only program.
Right.
If you learn the toll it's going to take on your finances and your life.
Exactly. Like, how much is a box of condoms?
I wouldn't know.
Me either. Wait for it. I mean, shit. Apparently, a 36 count, you can get it at Target for $15. It's a lot cheaper than making a baby.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, you hear that, folks? Life is terrible and children are garbage. So,
I mean, pretty much nailed it.
Yeah. Yep.
My thing is 36 condoms in a box. How long do condoms last? Like, how long until they expire?
I mean, you could just turn them inside out and reuse them a few times.
You know what? Brilliant.
Yeah. It's called being economical.
That's right. That's how you stick to your budget.
Yep.
So you got
Then
36 and 2 uses per minimum. So you've got like
minimum.
72 sessions, we'll call it.
Yeah. $15, that's not bad.
Nah. Or go to the South and get pregnant.
You know what? You know what's also kind of disturbing about the teen pregnancy rate is that that's also the part of the country that's anti-vaccination.
Right. That's a very good point that I didn't even think about.
And by the way, like, there's this one guy at work, and he's cool, like, pretty goddamn right-wing, and he's always saying some goofy shit, but he was talking about, like, how he's anti-vaccination or something. It's like, why would you inject your kids with mercury? And that bugs me, because, yeah, there used to be trace amounts of mercury, but that information is, like, well over 2 decades old. Like,
yeah, I was
they
going to
put
say,
a stop to that.
Late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah, it is such old data that
I'm just guessing, but I think it's back there.
I think it's at least like 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, people still always bring that up. And it's like, no, that is old information. But of course, if you're anti-vaxxer, you're already probably not going on websites checking out the latest science news.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so funny when like people like that use science even though they're anti-science.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I see that all the time.
Well, according to this article I read from the 60s, there's mercury in those things, and I'm not putting that in my kid.
Yeah, did you know Coca-Cola has real cocaine in it?
No way, dude.
Yeah, according to this article I read from 1902.
I had to have it translated because it was in Old English.
Yeah. Yeah. That just bugs me. And then, like, especially the climate change deniers, they love to use science. It's like, no, that's ridiculous. But then, another thing that really annoys me is that they'll say, like, I've heard people be like, well, you people who believe in climate change, you're just cherry-picking facts. I'm like, like, that's 100% what you're doing.
Right. Well, it's like, I don't know, dude. I keep mentioning this. I'm not sure if I've said it on the podcast before, but I know we've talked about it before, that the people who live the farthest away from oceans are the ones who are like, yeah, global warming is bullshit. The ones who are living near the oceans are the ones that are like, oh shit, the water is rising over here. Like, we do have to take precautions. Shit, there's places in Florida that have already redone their, not their sewage, but like their overflows.
Oh, wow.
So, like, they've dug canals under the streets and everything because they know it's going to overflow at some point. So it's like the first thing they can do right now is to make sure that when it overflows, it's got a place to go. Like, the people who are near the ocean are the ones who realize we're fucked.
Yeah. That and, like, I go to Grand Island, like, every other day, or at least a couple times a week, and I drive by the Platte River, and, yeah, that's dry as shit. I drove by it yesterday, and it was so low.
And I haven't seen a lot of water in it. I mean, granted, I don't live there anymore, but I usually visit once or twice a year.
Yeah.
I haven't seen water in that shit for a long time.
Yeah, every once in a while we'll get, like, a heavy spring rain, and it'll, like, rise considerably, but last time I drove by it, like, you couldn't even float down it with, like, a inner tube thing. Like, it was just...
Right.
Yeah, it was that. It was, like, ankle deep, which is weird. When I was a kid, I remember it. Well, okay, never mind. I was shorter as a kid, so it's not a good measurement, but...
Well, no, I used to fish out of there, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember people used to put, like, little fish traps in there, and good luck.
We went to a
place...
place...
Good luck now.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing. We went to a place, I want to say it's near Columbus, Nebraska, somewhere in there, that it's like it's private property. I think my grandparents knew someone that lived up there, but on one part of the trail, on one side was a lake, and the other was the river. And we would fish both sides. We'd go to the lake and fish for certain fish, and we'd go to the river and look for the other things. But you could you could do that now.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't think people who are climate change deniers are going to come around until after it's way the fuck too late.
Yeah. No, that's how, yeah. That's how people are.
Yep.
I know I've said this before, but I just don't understand how you benefit from denying climate change. I don't understand it. No. Like, I get it for corporations,
right?
Because they're going to have to spend money to reduce greenhouse emissions. Like, it's still pretty messed up, but at least I understand that. But, like, the average jerk-off who just has some, like, office job who denies climate change, I just cannot wrap my head around like how they benefit from denying it. It makes no sense to me.
Well, maybe this is going a little bit too much of the same shit I've said for a million times, but I feel like the people who are doing that are the ones who are watching Fox News.
Mm.
And I don't know if you've watched Fox News much lately, but it's literally state TV. Like, it's state-run TV.
Yeah, it's like the I forget the name of the channel in Russia, but there's a state-run news channel in Russia, and, like, I've seen clips from it that are translated. It's pretty hilarious. It's also kind of scary.
Right. But it's no different right now. I watched a little bit with my in-laws, and they're obsessed with it. But it's like, you can watch something happen in real time. Like, you can listen to Trump's speech. You can listen to what he's saying, and then flip it over to Fox News, and they will tell you all the things that I was watching the same thing, but they were not reporting any of it.
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers.
It's nuts
how they do that. Yeah, it really. I don't know. Even it's entertainment. Like,
yeah. Fox
News is finally caught up with, like, Alex Jones, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, in terms of it's not news.
No. It's opinion pieces masked as news.
Donald Trump, by the way, is still claiming that he invented the term fake news. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. Fucking Trump. Just fuck that guy.
Yeah. Anyway, so Bible Belt, huh?
Yeah. Good old Christian learning down there.
But I kind of wonder why that is. Like, I really think that it's like a socioeconomic thing. Like, I think it stems from post-Civil War, when the North really did try and keep the South down.
Right.
And just like the impact that the Civil War had, because, yeah, I don't know. I think it kind of goes back to that.
Well, when I grew up in Nebraska, I didn't understand there was still conflicts. I had no fucking idea. But when I moved to Kentucky, my, I guess, girlfriend at the time, now my wife, she's from New York. She still had her New York license plates on her car. And I shit you not, every once in a while I had some redneck, I've been called a damn Yankee before.
Oh, brother.
Like, what year am I in right now? Like, I had no idea that was still a thing. And then I drove her car to pick her up somewhere. And as I was getting out of the car, apparently I pissed someone off somehow. It was like, you damn Yankee. Blah, 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 blah. And I really couldn't understand most of what he said because I think he had like 4 teeth.
Yeah. Just the South in general just reminds me of the diner scene from Easy Rider.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like we got a couple Yankee queers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm married, but
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're a Yankee queer, whether you like it or not.
Turns out. Damn it. All this time, I didn't think I was.
Yeah, well, now you know.
Yep. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just didn't realize I was, you know?
Yeah, it's more the shock of having lived a lie your entire life than...
Yeah. This might take some time getting over.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But, yeah, I don't know the exact reason why the Bible Belt is so fucking ass backwards. But my theory is I don't know, man. I think it's just that when you follow some bullshit as hardcore as they follow the bullshit, reality is nowhere near reality for them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with the way, because the cities are few and far between, like major metropolitan cities. And I think it's just that it's so spread out and everyone was so isolated for hundreds of years that just the very concept of learning new ideas and interacting with new people is still probably pretty foreign to them. I think that's probably has most to do with it than anything.
I mean, I feel like that's why most cities are lean left.
Yeah, especially on the East Coast in California, you have just dozens and dozens of the biggest cities in the country, pretty close to each other.
Yeah, and when you're surrounded by diversity and other people's opinions, you learn to have a conversation about it. One of my friends I used to work with, I didn't know this about him. He's a DACA recipient, or the DACA.
Was.
Yeah. He's still here for now, but I didn't know that. I knew he was Spanish descent. I think he came from Mexico, I think. But he's lived here since he was 2 years old. He's American to the point of everything else. He speaks better English than I do.
Yeah.
But when you live in a city, you learn these things. You learn to talk to people that don't look like you and don't sound like you, and you get to hear their viewpoints and their opinions on things, and you learn how to discuss them without being a total douchebag.
Right. Because even even in the South, like there's a very high like black population, but it's all like they're all kind of in the cities in the same part. So even it's still not diverse.
Right.
It's segregated. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll never forget when I moved to Kentucky. The day of, my father was having a new garage built, like separated from his house.
Right.
And we were like, my dad and I were just shooting the shit. I was like, I'm going to be leaving here the next 10, 15 minutes, whatever. And the dude, who, this is the first time I realized I didn't necessarily not live in the South, or like the Midwest and the South were pretty alike, I guess.
Yeah.
He's the business guy. He's got a business. He's there representing his company, building this garage. He goes, "Where are you moving to?" And I was like, "Louisville, Kentucky. There's a lot of queers down there." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Wow.
Like, it blew my mind. Like, like you've got your fucking company shirt on right now.
Yeah.
It has the phone number to your company on your shirt.
Oh, wow. A lot of queers down there.
There's a lot of queers down there, man. I was like, what?
Wow.
I mean, I've worked retail a lot of my life. That's just not something you can say to customers.
No, I tend to keep those thoughts in my head.
And it turns out I'm Yankee queer, so I guess I fit in.
Yeah, right at home.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. Again, we're trying to make them between 30 and 45 minutes, so I think we got that number hit the nail on the head there. Hit the head on the nail. Which one is it? Anyway, don't forget you can support the Church of Atheism podcast by going to patreon.com/Church of Atheism. You can help us out there.
You should do it.
You should. I'm not saying you have to, but you can check us out there. You can follow us on Twitter at Natural Be Atheists with the Church of Atheism. I think that's it for me. Anything else you want to add?
No, but we'll definitely do another one pretty soon. So
yeah. All right, we will talk to everyone soon.
bye, guys.
Bye.